The truth is, there is only love. So let us take a moment to set that love free. Set that love free by acknowledging it as the only power in this earth, in this universe, as the power that lights the way for us, that breathes existence into each and every one of us. How good it feels to be free. And so as we recognize that love, that freedom to choose, let us choose that God that is within. Let us see that God in each and every one of the people we interact with. And let us fill this place with love and fill our hearts with that same love. Letting everything else fade, finding just what we need in this present moment, on this very day. And we give gratitude for every step along the way. And so it is.
And so it is.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me try that again. Good morning.
Good morning.
My mic sounds a little bit low, but as long as you can hear me, that's all that matters. Now, we are an interfaith gathering, a spiritual community that honors all teachings and all spiritual teachers. Now, here at Alaska Center for Spiritual Living, we are honoring the season of peace. Now, this week, we are honoring the faith of the Hindu for our prayer of peace. And our lovely candlelighter will be no other than Miss Loanne. Thank you. Appreciate it. And our prayer goes, Oh God, lead us from the unreal to the real. Oh God, lead us from darkness to light. Oh God, lead us from death to immortality. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti unto all. O Lord God Almighty, may there be peace in celestial regions. May there be peace on earth. May the waters be appeasing. May herbs be wholesome, and may trees and plants bring peace to all. May all beneficent beings bring peace to us. May thy Vedic law propagate peace all through the world. May all things be a source of peace to us. And may thy peace itself bestow peace on all, and may that peace come to me also. Now we also always honor that healing candle of love. So in this moment, we invite you, in the stillness of your own mind, to bring awareness to the names of anyone you wish to be included in this healing flame of love and light. And now that our flames of faith are fully lighted, we move forward into our celebration, realizing and reaffirming that all paths lead to God. Thank you so much. Now our purpose, vision, and mission statement. Our purpose, which is our reason for being. We awaken and inspire love and oneness. Now our vision, what is it that we want to create or become? We are an empowered, uplifting, inclusive community. And last but not least, our mission, how are we going to make this possible? We teach spiritual transformation with grace and joy. Beautiful, beautiful. Now our inspirational quote today comes from Ernest Holmes himself, Science of Mind 531.2, if you're looking to find the script. The thoughts of the tomorrows and the yesterdays are swallowed up in the great realization of the perfect here and the complete now. And back to our choir.
I have an excerpt, a day, out of a diary of a dog. This is a dog's diary. 8 a.m. Dog food, my favorite thing. 9:30 a.m. A car ride, oh, my favorite thing. 9:40 a.m. Oh, walk in the park, oh, my favorite thing. 10:30 a.m. Oh, I got rubbed and petted, my favorite thing. 12 p.m. Milk bones, my favorite thing. 1 p.m. Played in the yard. Oh, that's my favorite thing. 3 p.m. Wagged my tail. My favorite thing. 5 p.m. Dinner. Oh, my favorite thing. 7 p.m. I got to play ball. That's my favorite thing. 8 p.m. Wow, I watched TV with my people. My favorite thing. 11 p.m. Sleeping on the bed. My favorite thing. And now I have excerpts from the diary of a cat. It's day 983 of my captivity. My captors continue to taunt me with bizarre little dangling objects. They dine lavishly on fresh meat, while other inmates and I are fed hash or some sort of dry nuggets. Although I make my contempt for their rations perfectly clear, I nevertheless must eat to keep up my strength. The only thing that keeps me going is my dream of escape. In an attempt to discuss them, I once again vomit on the carpet. Today, I decapitated a mouse and dropped its headless body at their feet. I had hoped that this would strike fear into their hearts, since it clearly demonstrates my capabilities. However, they merely made condescending comments about what a good little hunter I am. The bastards. There was some sort of assembly of their accomplices tonight. I was placed in solitary confinement for the duration of the event. However, I could hear the noises and smell the food. I overheard that my confinement was due to the power of allergies. I must learn what this means and how to use it to my advantage. Today I was almost successful in an attempt to assassinate one of my tormentors by weaving around his feet as he was walking. I must try this again tomorrow, but at the top of the stairs. I am convinced that other prisoners here are flunkies and snitches. The dog receives special privileges. He is regularly released and seems to be more than willing to return. The bird must be an informant. I observe him communicating with the guards regularly. I am certain that he reports my every move. My captors have arranged protective custody for him in an elevated cell, so he is safe for now. Well, I don't mean to disparage cats or dogs or anything, but I think that the thing that we can gain from this is that attitude is so important. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to those of you who have braved the minus degrees to be here today with us, and welcome to those of you who are watching online. This talk today, this presentation was designed with you in mind. Thank you for watching. Our theme for today is it's a brand new day, but we have so many themes. We've got so many things going on now. I can't keep track of them. And so I had to write them down so I could share them with you. Okay, our annual theme is a grand rising. And I've said that all the way since the first of the year. And it's a great idea, a great concept. It's a grand rising. Instead of just waking up in the morning, we can have a grand rising. Last month, our theme was divine discontent. And what a great concept that is, because it is only through discontent, it is only through being uncomfortable that we can grow. When we are all in our warm cocoon, we don't grow. This month, our theme is, that's how we've never done it. Still waiting for something to come through on that one. February was Black History Month. And as many of you know, Ann and I just got back from our annual convention. It was held in Charleston, South Carolina. And we did get a half day off in the middle of the week. And the fingerprints of the divine were all over it. We ended up being able to go to the Black African American History Museum. It's brand new. It's only a few months old. And at some point, I'm sure during the next year, I'll share with you some of the experiences I had. But what a profound experience it was. We allocated an hour and a half. We could have spent a day and a half. But you're right there in Charleston, which was where I think about 60 or 70% of the slaves were brought into the United States, were through the Charleston Harbor. And what an awakening. March, this month, is Women's History Month. And what a profound thing that is, to celebrate the contributions of women, not only globally, nationally. I mean, women only got the right to vote within my parents' lifetimes. We see how far we've come, and we see the contributions of women. Just look within our movement, everybody from, Mary Baker Eddy, or we go all the way back into the early 1800s of the women that made contributions to this philosophy that we look at and we call a science of mind. And it's time that we pause to celebrate them. January 30th to April 4th is our season of peace. We celebrate that every year. Excuse me. And I think it's important that we do take time and look at season of peace in times of war. With all that's going on in the world, we can look within, and we know that that peace has to begin right here within each and every one of us. Our conference theme was soul to soul to soul. And as I look at all of these themes, and as we look back in history and we put all these together, it seems to me that there is one common kind of a theme that's emerging, and that is that our world is changing. And it's changing more rapidly all the time. And we get the opportunity to change with it. The title of my talk today is It's a Brand New Dog, a Brand New Day. And my question is, are you looking at the world, but it's a Freudian slip, through the eyes of a dog or of a cat? We have a new executive director for our movement. We've changed the organization. A lot of things are happening and changing. And this lady's been the ED now for just a year. She was named at last convention. Her name is Reverend Michelle Ariano. She's a minister at a center in Oregon. If there is anything that gives me excitement about our movement and where we're going, it's this young lady. She is amazing. And when she gets up to speak, it is so from her heart that you can feel it. And boy, does she drill it home. She's there. And I took notes from her talk the opening night. Hers was probably the shortest talk of all. The whole opening thing, everything that we did, hers was probably the shortest thing, but she talked about an arch. She looked at our movement as a big arch. And on one side of the arch is desire to stay in our comfort zone, to where we know, let's go back to how things were. They were so great. We don't, let's just stay there. We want to go back to that. And then the other end of the arch is those who are ready for change. Come on, let's go. Wake up, people, let's do this. And then how we're all kind of in this arch at one place or another. And I know that sometimes I'm over here. I can tell you there's mornings I wake up and it's time for me to go to work. I got to get into church, whatever it is. I'm supposed to be there by 9 o'clock or whatever. And all I want to do is curl back under those covers and pull a blanket over my head and say, I'm done with this. But then there are other days when I can read the things that Michelle Ariano has to say and her vision for what we are and what we can be. And it's, wow, sign me up. I want to be there too. I want to contribute. This is awesome. And so I think we're all kind of on that big arch of hers. And sometimes we flip back and forth. It's kind of like the gas tank on my car. You know, sometimes I'm full and sometimes I'm empty. And I think that all of the confusion and the change and whatever it is, we have this chaos before the change. And we've studied that before. We've talked about it before, how chaos precedes the change. And I think that's just kind of where we are. You've heard me talk, you know, all my stories. You get tired of my stories. But in the stories, oftentimes I refer back to that night and I looked up to that sign in the latitude 62 in Talkeetna, and there's this sign and it says attitude, the difference between an ordeal and an adventure. And what are we on? Are we on an adventure, excitement, or is this an ordeal? And what it made me think of was Douglas Adams, in his book, A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It talks about, instead of the laws of probability or the infinite possibilities, he talks about improbability, the opposite. There was one thing in there where he's got a giant sperm whale and a pot of petunias that are hurtling toward Earth, the gravitational pull of Earth. And the whale delights in discovering himself. Oh, look, I have a tail. God, what are these things? These are magnificent. I'm going to call them flukes. What is this glorious, beautiful, round blue object that's coming toward us? What could that possibly be? So beautiful. And then we have the pot of petunias next to us, and the only thing the pot of petunias is, oh no, not again. So what will your attitude be? We are in the change. We don't have any choice about that. What's your attitude going to be? Ernest Holmes. I rise to meet the new day, filled with confidence and strength. I rise and go forth into the dawn, inspired and refreshed by the living spirit within me. Boy, that man has a way with words. I rise to meet the day. What this quote is the essence of this theme that we have of a grand rising. It's a grand rising, to meet the new day filled with confidence and strength. Rise and go forth into the dawn, inspired and refreshed by the living spirit within me. So we may want to know how our organization, the Centers for Spiritual Living, is reacting to and how we are doing in this time of so much change. So I took some of these notes, and these are the questions that many people ask of me after convention. Well, what did you learn? What's going on with our service? And I'm going to start with the report by an organization known as Field Services. The new minister selection committee is working with the head of the Field Services department. Her name is Julie Labato, Reverend Julie Labato. And you think of this, all the things that they do. I think there's 3 or 4 people in the entire department. This is not, our headquarters is not hundreds of people there supporting us, in some high-rise building. In fact, they're selling the building there. Everybody's going to work from home. There's very few people pulling all this off. Field Services report what they did. 23 pulpits filled. So for those of you on the committee and you see what all is involved, and they've got 23 of these that they did last year. 8 new communities created. 8 new centers created, with 16 in process. 20 new ministers were ordained. I got to sit on a panel, ordination panel for new ministers. What an honor and a privilege that was. Wow, and we have some just magnificent people coming up. 109 newly licensed practitioners. There are 26 new ministers in what they call their launch program. We've gone to a new model in our ministerial education. We have, I want to say old isn't the right word. The former way of doing it, the most common way, is to go through the Holmes Institute, and after, sometimes longer than others, 4 or 5 years, you become licensed, you're licentiate, and then you have a 3-year period where you have a mentor and a sponsor, and you work with them to improve, and at the end of that time you can apply for and become ordained. Or now the new way, you can still do that, or now the new way is it's a much shorter path, and you can spend about 2 years in the school, and you never have to take all of the requirements for the master's degree. You just take some of the basic courses and then spend the 3 years under the wing of an experienced minister, and those are the ministers in launch, and we've got 26 of those. There are 29 communities in transition from one place to another. 686 practitioners renewed their licenses, 22 new emeritus practitioners, one if we have right here in Alaska, Kaleem. 13 affiliated practitioners were accepted. We have 819 ministers in service right now, and we have 2,478 practitioners in service. And this is just an aside. I looked at the average Sunday attendance across the line is 66. It's the exact number that we have. Well, if you add those of you here with those online and those that watch later during the week, 66. So we're right in the middle. And the Field Services Department have an average of 13,713 emails a month.
Wow.
They attend 242 meetings. So hats off to the committee, and our committee is awesome. And speaking of the number of communities, that's always a question I get. We are down to, right now, 391 affiliated communities. If you remember, just even a few years ago, before pandemic, we had over 450 centers alone, not counting the other categories. But today, we have 246 centers. We have 52 focus ministries, 49 teaching chapters, 36 study groups, and there's a new category. It's called a teaching center. And we have 8 of these brand new teaching centers. So that's the 391 affiliated communities. As we move forward as an organization, we can either do it with enthusiasm or we can do it with dread. Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker wrote 365 Days of Richer Living. And this is what they wrote in there. I let go of yesterday, and I have no fear of tomorrow, for this day is God's day in my life and affairs. And I think as we go forward, we can adapt that same attitude or same way of thinking and being, is that we don't have to worry about yesterday. There isn't anything we can do to change it. We don't have to worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, because today is the day that God has made. And we can have faith in, how does he say it? In my life and affairs. Before I get to the conclusion, I do want to comment on one other thing, and this is a little out of place. I should have done this back when I kind of welcomed everybody, but I want to throw some more compliments to our choir and to our music director. Last week I was a little under the weather. The last day of convention, Ann and I both came down with a cold, and then got on a plane and packed it in really good. You know how that works with all that. And we got here, so I didn't want to come here and infect all of you, so I watched at home. And we do the sound here for here. And at the beginning I said that, this service this day is for you, was designed for you, with you in mind. And we really design our services for here. And the biggest way that I see that manifested is in the choir and singing. This is incredible. Aaron has done a magnificent job of bringing the choir together. I mean, and with, I can only speak for myself, but the quality of my speakers at home, and the sound, we've got microphones. They're up in the ceiling. You don't see them. We've got microphones up there. We've got microphones, handhelds. We've got wired ones. With all of that, it's all blended in. It sounds awesome here. Not so awesome at home. And so I hope to utilize this as an invitation to all of you who can. Now, Chris, I know you can't make it here from New Jersey every week. Yeah. But for those of you who can, I invite you to come and experience this live, because the choir is just awesome. Okay, I'll get the conclusion, get out of here. We can get to work. Conclusion. Each new day is an invitation to expand to a fuller expression of our divine humanness. We wake up each morning to infinite possibility. All that unlimited, overflowing good of the universe waits on our acceptance of it. We are always at choice. Are we willing to embrace the day? Are we willing to stay curious and hopeful and open to more fully experiencing and expressing light and love? Are we willing to remember Spirit enjoys being itself as us? Our conscious evolution as unique divine humans is ongoing. It is only limited by the degree of our individual agreement to participate in its unfolding. Say yes. Say grand rising to this brand new day. And so with it is the awareness of that infinite spirit that is within each and every one of us that I invite my colleagues, the practitioners, to join me in holding our congregation, both here and online, those that are watching later, in love and light, and simply knowing that that magnificent power of the universe is continually and forever expressing itself through and as each and every one of us. And as we go through life, we don't need to fear. We don't need to crawl back under the covers. We don't need to bury our head in the sand, for we can have confidence that that infinite creative force is leading us in the direction that we need to go. The need to go to allow it, Spirit, to express itself fully. We are just the instruments. And so as we face the problems that we do in life, and we all face problems, we can just simply know that we are greater than those problems because we are manifested from, we are made from, we are part of that infinite inclusivity that is God. So we are greater than disease. We are greater than illness. We are greater than poverty. We are greater than war. It doesn't mean that war doesn't exist. It doesn't mean poverty doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that disease doesn't exist. But what it means is there is a part of us that is greater than that, and that is the part that we embrace. And we can allow whatever it is to unfold because it is in a perfect divine right order of the infinite. And we can accept it. And we are assured that it is there. So we just give thanks. Oh, how great it is. We give thanks, we let it go, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. And now is the time in the service where we are afforded the opportunity to participate in another one of our spiritual practices here, that's being the law of circulation. Recognize a few of the people who are online today. Tony from Kotlik, Kaleem, Teresa T, Chris B from New Jersey, Barbara Taylor, and Coffee?
Coffee.
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 Coffee's here today too.
Donna.
And who?
Donna.
Yes, in Switzerland.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. We haven't seen our friend from South Africa for a while. We had a fellow that watched from South Africa for quite a bit. But Switzerland is by far the most regular. Okay, if this service today is indeed created with you in mind, you being the people online, you don't get to participate in this. You don't get to have Judy come around in a basket and give you an affirmation, so you're just left out. Oh, maybe not. There is a QR code on your screen. And I tested this last week, and even one who is more
Challenged.
technologically challenged could get it done before they were done singing. True this. And it even meant I had to run into the bedroom and get my wallet because I didn't have my credit card. And I had to stop and pet the dog on the bed. So all you have to do is put your camera on that, click it, it comes right up. It's really easy, as long as you know your name. Put in your name and your credit card number, and it's good. And no credit card numbers are saved here. It goes in. Even when they broke in, they could never get anything because it's all, I don't know where it is. It's not here.
Secure. Secure.
The cloud? I don't know about a cloud.
It's cloudy.
It's cloudy, but it's not here. I know that much. Okay. So you can do that. And by the time we do that, if you clicked on that, you can have made a contribution. So we talk about this law of circulation. What does that mean? What are we really talking about? Talking about law of circulation. Cliff Notes version says this: what you put forth into the universe is what is returned to you. What you put out is what you get back. If you want to have more friends in your life, it's a good idea to be friendly. You know? And you do that and it seems to kind of work. Well, it's the same thing with our finances. If you want more prosperity in your life, it's a good idea to be generous because it's the way it works. Now, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme or something. Oh, give away your money and it's all going to come back. It isn't how it works at all. But if you are genuinely happy about making a contribution, helping someone else do something else, it works over and over and over. And I urge you to give it a try. And, you know, we believe in it so much. We give 10% to our national organization, and they love us for it. I know they do. They tell me they do. And you know, we also give 5% locally. And some of the things that we give to touch your heart so deeply. And you can all take pride in that. The law of circulation absolutely works. And so I don't want anybody given out of guilt or because you're supposed to or because you have to, because some priest or some bigwig told you that you were supposed to. I want you to give because you want to. And when you give from there, bingo, it works. Yep. Let's get this affirmation going and get on here. Oh, Ann's got the kids ready to go. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is. Thank you.
My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Oh Lord, my God, you are my strength. You carry me on your wings. You are in me, you know my heart, and my soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Your constant blessings flow to me like a mighty river to my heart. You are my life, you set me free, and I will love you forever and ever and ever and ever, forever and ever and ever and ever. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you.
Let us take a quick moment to examine our diaries on this day. Will we decide to be held captive by the worries of tomorrow? Or do we channel that inner doggo that says, this is my favorite thing? Finding what is right in front of us, the blessings within it, releasing the things that we cannot control, taking back our power and investing it into the present that is the gift of the here and now. When it rains, it pours. So we can grab our buckets or we can close our doors. I invite you to grab that pail today. Grab your umbrella and embrace the rain, for it feeds the soil. And so as we just bask in that light, let us take the opportunities, because they're going to show up, to say yes to peace and to say yes to our favorite things. And so it is.
So it is.